Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. Ready to go over Derby Day again.
Wild finish. Here's the wire. Photo finish. Three noses on the wire. Mystic Dan, Sierra Leone, and Forever Young.
So, last week I had a great time during the Kentucky Derby. One of the things that I got to do was I got to go down and get a special bottle. Very, very excited about that. I just think it was super, super neat that I got to meet the owner of Dark Arts. There's a little bit of an interview, which I'm going to kind of interject into that, which I think is really, really cool. And on top of that, I learned some history stuff I didn't know. And it wasn't anything that said, hey, check this out, or you've got to know about this. They put it on the bottle, and sometimes I don't do a good job of reading bottles, as you guys will know. Sometimes I don't know what the mash bills are. I just open them and start drinking. That's fine too. But this was, the owner signed the bottle, the distillery signed the bottle, which I think was absolutely, absolutely cool. So Mr. Pete, I appreciate that. Fantastic. Like I said, you guys will get to see an interview in a little bit, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the bottle. So on the front of the bottle, you'll see a depiction of a jockey on there. And I was like, this is interesting. Who is this? This is Isaac Burns Murphy. And I'm like, okay. And on the back, they kind of tell a little bit about it. Actually, because I'm not good at looking maybe at all the information that's there. I actually went to the internet and started researching about it. And this very nice story they have on the back of the bottle, too, is that, Isaiah Burns Murphy was an incredible, I guess, horseman. He was the first person to win the Kentucky Derby 3 times. He has the highest rated winning percentage ever, at 44% as a jockey, which is phenomenal and amazing to think about that. But some of the neat history on there I don't think it's not even on the bottle that I found earlier was he was actually born a slave. He was born a slave, ended up getting his freedom, then ended up then becoming a jockey and then just becoming dominant in everything that he did, which I think is really, really cool for 150th, Kentucky Derby bottle. We had this at a bottle share last week. I am a big fan of Dark Arts, so very excited about that. Was able to get the Dark Arts Glen, if you guys could see that well. I think that's really, really cool as well. So a lot of cool things going on there. But the first thing I'd like you guys to check out the interview. And just, it was an impromptu thing. He was there and I just said, hey, do you mind if I do this? And he was very gracious, said, absolutely. So check out that interview and I'll see you in a minute. All right, so you got a great setup out here today. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm David Pete with Dark Arts Whiskey House. We're at the Bottle Shop in Columbus, Georgia, and we're pouring today for the 150th Kentucky Derby, which runs tonight, 5:40 p.m. We've got a special bottle today. It is a 7-year bourbon that's been finished with 3 different types of French oak, and then we've got our core lineup of Barely Legal Bourbon, French Oak Bourbon, and Amber on a Rock.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys got started.
So we got started really modeling off of the Scotch houses and Armagnac houses of Europe. So we feel like American whiskey and American bourbon has celebrated the master distiller for a long time, and we really wanted to put the master blender on the map through finishing. And finishing for us is staves and rebarreling, and try to push the envelope of flavors in American whiskey. So we want to do interesting exotic woods in good American bourbon and rye, and really push the flavors to try to get interesting things that people haven't had before. So that's really what Dark Arts is all about. We've got an alchemy theme on the brand to kind of signify that. And we're just letting people try the whiskey today. We love it when people try our whiskey and find new and interesting flavors in bourbon that they haven't experienced before.
If you don't mind, tell me a little bit about your master blender.
Yeah,
your alchemist, so to speak.
Yes, our chief alchemist and master blender is Macaulay Minton. He was with Wilderness Trail for the last 8 years, and he is a wizard. He is amazing in he basically operates like a chef. When he tastes different flavors and different barrels and different woods, he starts putting things together. So kind of one of the things that's unique for us that other people don't do is we do a single barrel program, but we also do a custom blending program where we let stores and groups combine things. So we've had people combine Armagnac and French oak barrels, or Armagnac and Pinot Noir barrels. And so we think it's like, Whiskey Advocate just did an article about a month ago as it being a disruptor in the industry. So, when a store owner comes in and puts two barrels together, all of a sudden it's something that just they have, that they've created, that they can talk about with their customers. That's kind of different than, there's 4 barrels that were rolled out and I picked one. This is really something that's just theirs and unique to them. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
looking
you.
forward to it. And I'll tell you from experience, I've enjoyed all 3 of these, and I've enjoyed this one sampling, and I'm going to have some of that today too.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
Like and subscribe, Echoes and Eternity Bourbon.
I love it. Thank you. Welcome back. Like I said, I'm a big fan of dark art stuff. You guys have seen me talk about it. They don't distill anything. They're blenders and finishers, and they do a phenomenal job of making it better. Their claim to fame is kind of like they're the alchemists. They take something and they turn it into something else, and I absolutely agree with them on this. Now, this one here it's a straight bourbon whiskey finished with toasted French oak staves, coming in 111.54 proof. It's MGP juice is what I'm assuming here. It's from Indiana. They bring it into Kentucky. They do their work there. Macaulay's their head blender out there, their chief alchemist out there. He's from Wilderness Trail, used to run their single barrel program out there. It is very cool to see this in at the bottle shop over there. They're the first liquor store in Georgia to have them, and I am a big fan of theirs. I got a few bottles of them hiding over here myself. I don't even know where I put them anymore because I've been drinking a lot of them out of them lately. But a lot of fun. I love their Amburana rye. I love their barely legal bourbon. They've got one that's done in a French wine cask, which I think is outstanding, from Bordeaux. It's a Bordeaux wine from France, which is very good. So I've enjoyed everything I've tasted. So when they said that we have something special for the Kentucky Derby, I was like, I'm dead on this. So let's get into this. If you look at this, this has got a beautiful deep yellow, light orange color. Let me run it around the Glen here, see what we got. I was looking at it just a minute ago, and I saw some nice legs on this thing. So it does take a little bit of time for the legs to develop, but they're starting to stream a little bit on the back end of this, which is very, very nice. I almost get like a poppycock type of note, which is you kind of got your nuts and your toffee and some sweet corn in there at the same time. I'm getting a little bit of an earthiness to it that I like, almost like some rye notes. So I'm kind of curious to what the mash bill is on this. I'm getting some nice sweeter dark notes that are on the back, so like a sweet oak going on. Definitely getting some leather on there. So this has a little bit of spice, a little bit in the nose too, like a baking spice. So there's a lot of different things going on this. I'm almost getting like a tiny bit of a mint on this too. Let's go ahead and give it a taste, see what we got. So this has a lot of things that I like right off the bat on this. You do get that brown sugar toffee type a little bit up front, but then as it rolls through the back, it's almost kind of like a candied type of a toffee that I'm getting more of a just an intense candy type of thing. I'm getting a little bit of spice going on there, I'm getting some of that baking spice. The oak is more of a sweet than a drying on it, which is very, very nice. I do get a touch of that tobacco on the back. So there's a lot of nice things going on this. Man. This is a real sweet spot with that 111 proof, is where you can feel some of the proof, but you're not like just being, you're tasting the whiskey though. You're tasting the bourbon in there. Yeah, you're tasting all the different flavors, and it's not burning you up. You get a little bit of that Kentucky hug down your chest, but you're getting all the good flavors that come out of this. And it changes. It changes. It goes from that sweet, goes into kind of a little bit of a spicy thing going on. The finish is a medium plus finish on this. I'm trying to identify something on the back of this that I'm really, really kind of digging here. I do get a little bit of just a tiny, tiny, tiny faint hint of mint, hit of mint on there. So it's kind of refreshing. So you kind of go into the oak, and you got some of the tobacco, and then more on the deeper part of the finish, you're getting this kind of refreshing mint type of thing going on at the same time. And when I say things like this, it kind of drives people nuts, but I was actually on a call the other day, and it kind of reminded me of that. You kind of get this like little bit of this sarsaparilla note on the back. And if you haven't had sarsaparilla, it's kind of like the second cousin of like a root beer, but maybe not as intense in the flavor, but a little bit sweeter. Kind of has that sweet sarsaparilla type of taste on the back of it. And I get a little bit of like a peachiness going on with this too. So a lot of great things going on this pour. Most disappointing part about this pour is I couldn't buy a second bottle. They were only one per, and I understand it, and they're gone. But man, this is a very good pour for me, and it's even better now a week later than when we opened it the other night. So you can tell the oxygen's done a little bit for this too, because it seems smoother and more refined right now. Very nice pour on this. So a lot of things going on with this. You kind of get this toffee type of note type of thing going on. Get a tiny bit of vanilla through there now, getting some of the vanilla, kind of a peachy thing going on. Then you get kind of like a candied toffee a little bit in the back, some sweet oak that you're getting on there, that little bit of that light mint going on in there, a little bit of tobacco going on, and then that sarsaparilla type of thing going on. So it's got a lot of sweet, but it's got some nice balance to it on the back too, with about a medium plus finish on it. Yeah, and I'm digging this. Like I said, I do get some different rye notes in here, but it's not punch you in the face rye. It's just a little of, hey, I've got some rye in here, and I'm reminding you. That's why I'm curious about the mash bill on that. So I'll see if I can hunt that down. Man, when you see this video, it's going to be Friday, and I am very, very excited. Sunday, I'm going to release the video for the people that contributed to Sam Delgado's fund, that sent me pictures so I can get them a 2-ounce pour of everything that I collected in April. And I'm excited about that. So very thankful. There was a lot of people that just reached out and said, hey, I'm not going to send a picture, but I just want to let you know I donated. And that means a lot to me, because a lot of them just said, I read the story and it touched me, and it was important for me that I did that. And I truly say this all the time. The bourbon community is one of the most giving communities there are, and I truly thank you for that. Like I said, I don't know Sam Delgado. I don't know his father. I don't know his mother. I just know a couple of the guys that are firefighter brothers with him, and I know what they conveyed to me as far as, this guy's going through a lot, or what they put out there. And I just said, you know what? I want to make sure other people see this opportunity, and you guys just grabbed it and ran with it. So thank you very, very much for that. I think that says a lot about people when you don't physically know someone, but you understand what's going on in their life, and you still want to help, whether it's financially or through prayer or what other things. Give them good thoughts, good praise. Thank you very much for that. You guys really uplift me. You don't realize how much you guys uplift me all the time, and I appreciate that. So it's Happy Friday when you're seeing this. By the time this comes out, it's probably going to be late afternoon. I had a lot to do, upcoming early, so I don't know when I'm going to get this processed. So, but it's Friday. I mean, the weekend's upon us if you're a Monday through Friday guy like me. Not everyone has that opportunity. They're first responders, our military, our truck drivers, our farmers. So many people that worked weekend shifts and night shifts to keep our country going. Thank you all very, very much. I appreciate you. I think about stuff all the time. I don't ever call out our linemen. People that are making sure when the storms come in. We had a lot of storms come in that take care of our lines. Our different plumbers, the different trades that are always available to take care of people so they can get their houses back in order. Very appreciative of you. I tell this all the time too about our teachers. I've got 4 nieces that teach, and they're a blessing, every single one of them. And I thank you all that are in that field as well. I'm just so blessed that we get to live in this country. And I know that a lot of people put a lot of shade on where we're at, this, that, and the other, but I don't think that they truly see the blessings that we have. We are blessed to be in this country. We are blessed for the opportunities we have, and I'm blessed to have you guys as a part of my team. But look, if you're still working, I hope your workday goes by fast. I hope you're successful in everything that you do. You bring great energy to your teams, and they bring it right back to you. When you finally get that off time, I hope it just dials it down a little bit. This upcoming weekend's Mother's Day weekend. Do something special for those women in your life that are mothers. Whether it's your mom, whether it's your wife, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it, hopefully, if not multiple girlfriends, or you have a girlfriend with a wife, but just saying. But if you have a child with someone, even if you're divorced, just to say, hey, thank you for that, or if you have a close aunt or somebody like that, or a grandmother, whoever that might be, spend that extra time with them. And I hope it slows down so you can let them know how much you appreciate them this weekend. Because I'd be lost without the women in my life that probably put a lot of lumps in my head, but some knowledge as well as I was growing up. So I'm blessed for that. Man, I am excited about the weekend, excited to spend time with family, excited to spend time with my wife and my mother-in-law, who's going through a lot of health issues, but a lot of you guys have sent out your prayers, and I thank you for that. So I'm looking forward to spend time with her. Sister-in-laws will be in town, looking for that as well. Get to hang out with my brother-in-law. I'm sure he'll get to come over here and have some bourbons with me, so I'm looking forward to that too. But most importantly all, cheers and God bless. I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you.